Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 259 of A Year of Change. Today we're ending another week, sort of the second week of, well, a bad week for me all the way around. And the second week of fiber as well. Is it? Did we go over? No, I think we're okay. Second week of fiber. We didn't really do a whole lot this week, or the past couple of weeks on fiber. It's not sort of as intense as it was with carbs and sugar and everything else. And really we sort of went, oh, we're going to talk about fiber at some point. And then we talked about it for one day, and then we had our presentation that we saw last Friday. And then it just sort of, we didn't really focus on it as we should. But there's not a lot to say. I mean, it's really just eat more of it, get it where you can. It's good. That's it. I have nothing else to say. I mean, we talked about it so many times before as well, and just sort of getting into the nitty-gritty and the science and everything of it. So it's just sort of a, hey, let's watch what we're doing and see if we can increase our intake and go from there. I don't know if that's part of it, but, I mean, this entire week has just been, as you well know, really poopy all the way around for me. Just sort of getting onto a new schedule over the past couple of weeks, and then the gain that I had last week. I did take a bit of a peek today. I've been sort of checking every day. And there is some progress there. Not a lot, but there's some progress. So I'm hoping when I do my official weigh-in tomorrow, then things will be a little bit better. But overall, the entire week has just sort of been... And not that I've been sick or actually had the flu or anything like that, but it just feels like that sickness is coming on. I generally have a few days' notice before I get really, really sick, and that's what I thought was going to happen, but I've just sort of stayed at that, I feel like crap, throughout the entire week. I think a lot of it, though, well, almost all of it, I'll say. I think almost all of it is from having that bad weekend and the gain, of course, and then not eating properly for a couple of days, and it's taken me so long to get back on track. I think the amount of damage that was done during that weekend and during those few days really took its toll, because I feel now the way that I used to feel all the time, just, lethargic, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm clammy, I'm gross, and I want to go to bed for the entire day and not do anything. And that's always been sort of that was the norm, a few months ago, where just I would get up, I would eat, I would go to bed, and I would get up, and I would eat, and I would drink, and go to bed, and I would get up and eat. And aside from going back and forth to work, I never really did anything else. Just sleep, and then watch TV or movies or something. And so that's what it feels like. I've still been doing my treadmill, except yesterday. Yesterday, I got sidetracked by a little bit, but by something legitimate as well. For the first time this year, well, no. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, depending on when you're watching this, yesterday it snowed for the first time. We didn't get a lot. We only got maybe an inch or two at most. But it's enough when you don't have winter tires on. All right, let me start over. It did snow, but I'm trying to go back and then say, no, okay, trying to set things up. It did snow, but before it did that, it had been raining pretty much all day the day before, and then throughout the night, which then that turned into just like slushy rain, where it started to freeze, and then it would thaw, and then it would freeze again, so by the time it hit the ground, it was just like gooey everywhere. And then the temperature dropped way down. The temperature dropped way down, and then it started to actually snow. But all the slush that was already on the ground, that was partially melted and nice and smooth and slick, started to freeze over. So we had like a layer of ice on the roads, and then a couple of thin little layers of slush, which doesn't help at all, and then our nice crunchy snow on top of it. So yesterday when I got up, I realized it was snowing about 2 or 3 in the morning. The sleeping habits are probably part of the reason why I feel like shit as well. But, so I knew, okay, good enough, I'm going to have to get up and clean the car off and get rid of all the snow, make sure everything's warmed up. So I only did half an hour on my treadmill on Friday, and I have not made it up yet. I haven't been tracking the actual calories being burned, so I don't feel too bad. But my intention was to come back Friday night and do it, which just simply didn't happen. But, because I had to get up, I did half an hour, got ready, and then went out thinking, well, I'll get the car cleaned up and everything will be fine. I'll do everything when I come back in. But I got stuck. It took me about half an hour to clean off the car, which was really shitty because it was all crusty and crunchy with ice and all the other layers, which is a little bit more difficult to get rid of than just brushing snow off. And then I was stuck at work for another 2.5 hours after that. So day didn't go quite as planned. I think that might be contributing to it, but I think 95% of the reason why I feel so shitty is because of just the week in general, the beginning of the week when I just wasn't eating properly. But around midweek, I got back on track. I've been, doing the treadmill every day still. I fixed my diet so that I'm eating properly. I'm not having this huge binge when I come home. I had a couple things for lunch. I did miss lunch on Friday as well. And supper. Didn't actually have anything to eat until almost midnight, which is really, really bad. Sometimes it does happen. But in general, it's getting better. So I think there is going to be a little bit of a gain of progress this week when I do my weigh-in tomorrow. And part of me, because I've only got another month left in the year, calendar year, not the year of the videos or anything, but which I shouldn't have had to say because chances are you've done the math and went, no, you have more than that, stupid. But I had started to think, I really want to hit my halfway point before the end of the year. But I don't know, because I think I can do it, obviously. I still have 4 weeks to lose less than 10 pounds. I can do that. But part of what we've been doing has been, no, we need to keep things healthy and stay on track and not try to starve ourselves or overdo it or, go overboard in general. And I still have something in my eyeball. I don't know what it is. It feels like a piece of hair, which obviously is not going to be mine. So I don't want to change things up now and say, okay, well then I'm going to cut way back. I'm going to have 600 calories a day and I'm going to do 2 hours on my treadmill just to hit a goal. It's good to have goals that way. I mean, I have a long-term goal, but, and I really, really would like to get to my halfway point before the end of the year because, again, I feel like I've been just sort of slowing way, way down. And I think it is doable, but I really want to stay on track with what we've been doing. My calorie intake is fine. My diet is all right when I do it properly, which I've sort of gotten back on track with. So I want to sort of stay on track that way. And it's going to bug me if in a few weeks' time I'm going 0.2 pounds away. But I'd rather it bug me than me actually do any damage. I mean, damage is a harsh word. I can't imagine me losing 10 pounds in a month is going to do anything negative to me. But I just don't want to get into that habit of saying, and now this sounds like an excuse going, I don't want to actually start exercising, but it's not. I don't want to get into the habit of saying, okay, well now I'm going to, stop eating this and I'm going to stop doing that. What we're doing is working. When I follow it, the process is sound, so we're going to stick with the process. And, watch what I'm eating, eat healthy, do my regular exercise, things like that. And, I'll eventually get to where I need to be. So it's going to be all right. But with winter coming on, this is the first year where, although I look like I prepare well for winter, that's one good thing about being fat. We're never too cold. It can be too hot, which I am all the time, which is horrible, which we'll talk about at some point. But I look like I winter well. I'm prepared when winter comes along each year. But this is the year that I kind of think, you know what, I'm on track. I've lost quite a bit of weight so far. I want to keep going. And I know my halfway point reward was going to be to join the gym. But on top of that, I'd like to actually do something and be active this winter. So that I'm not stuck inside going, I hate it, stupid and snow and everything else. Because I don't have that same sort of mindset of, no, I just want to stay inside and then eat and sleep and poop and watch movies and TV and nothing else. I actually want to do something. And even if it's a matter of just, going outside and going for a walk or shoveling snow or something that I can do just to sort of get a little bit more involved outdoors during the winter, I think it'll be a little more fun. I was going to try to think, I was thinking that I might try learning how to skate again, but baby steps. I think we've talked about my skating mishaps before. I still can't skate. I would eventually like to learn, but I think that's once I'm to a proper weight. I'll have less cushioning when I fall, but my center of gravity will be a little easier to control. So I think that might be something for next year that I'll look at. But this year I really want to get out and, there are nature trails around here that I can go on. I've never gone skiing, which I'm not going to do. because then it's just skating with really, really long skates. But I want to find something outdoorsy and manly and lumberjacky. We could chop down trees, I suppose, which would probably cause problems. Because there are trees around me, but they don't belong to us. They belong to the city. So I can't really do anything that way. Anyway, that's just something I just sort of wanted to bring up as well, because it's going to be something that... it's going to be something. I kept repeating that. Sorry. That each winter, I've always spent just inside. I mean, it's nice being inside during the winter when it's really cold and shitty outside. If it's, raining ice pellets and there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. Or last year we had over, I think, 6 or 7 feet. We still had a pile of snow. I live in a harbor city, so they took all the snow and pushed it down and left it on the harbor because the cruise ships don't come in or anything like that. So they thought, good enough, we're going to store it there. They ran out of places to store the snow in the city because there just simply isn't enough room. And this pile of snow, there was so much of it there that it was still there in July. I think it is near the end of July, or mid-July or end July is when it finally melted away completely. It just melted for months and months and months that we had so much snow. So I don't know if we're going to do the same thing this year. But even if we do, I'd like to be able to enjoy it this year rather than staying inside and just, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is what I normally do. So even if it's just going out and going for a walk or something, that's something I want to look at. I keep saying something. Sorry, there's a loud car. Apologies again. Anyway, I don't really have much of an update today. This is just sort of a bit of a rant and saying, I ate really shitty at the beginning of the week, but I think I'm okay now. I could have said that and just ended this right away and would have made things a lot easier all the way around. No, that's not the word. I can't even talk. But I'm hoping that these flu things are just sort of the aftermath of that shitty week, and that it's taking me longer than normal to get back to where I need to be, because I really don't want to get sick, because that would be really, really bad at this point. Or it's never good. No one ever goes, oh my god, I'm getting sick. This is going to be awesome. It's a 3-day weekend. But I'm getting used to the daytime shift as well. I'm still going to bed at 2 a.m, which is not good because I have to be up at 6. So I need to sort of curb that and get on a proper schedule that way. I think that might be part of it as well. But again, probably 95% is the food and the shitty diet that I had throughout those few days during the weekend. And it's taken me a while to get back to where I need to be. And then I think the sleep is contributing to that as well. So where the flu hasn't actually hit me yet, I don't think it's an actual flu. I just feel warm and sweaty and gross and yeah. But hopefully, by the end of the week, I'll feel a little bit better. But for right now, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.